everybody. Welcome out to the best damn podcast there ever was, ever is, ever shall be.
You add more to it every time.
I know, because I love this podcast that much, and it's great to hang out with you guys.
Aww.
So I think this is the best podcast ever.
Yeah, usually we're just arguing with each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes it the best.
What's it gonna be this time? Like last time I was on, it was Captain Crunch with the Crunchitize Ray.
Dude, that spanned 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Do we really want to
Don't bring it back up.
Third episode?
The
trilogy? Don't even... All right, let's speak its name.
Welcome to the Death Battle cast. I'm Ben, showrunner, and I play Wiz on Death Battle. To my right is some of the staff and crew and whatnot you have that works on Death Battle.
You want to like not generalize us?
Fine. This is Nick. He writes things. That's Torrian. He animates things, and that's Chad. He boomsticks things.
Yes, I do.
All right, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Pretty good? You excited about that Death Battle Season 4 reveal that just came out? Which we're going to show in a little bit.
There was a reveal? Who's in it?
Well, I guess we're going to have to show that. But real quick, I do want to do a quick shout out to Blue Apron for sponsoring this episode, helping us make the Death Battle cast happen.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about some deals you can have with Blue Apron in just a little bit. But let's show off what's going to happen in Season 4 of Death Battle. Let's do it.
Or will
Eventually.
we? There it is.
Either walk away or die right here.
First rule about me, I don't walk away.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I got chills for this episode. Like, I'm so excited for this one. We've been wanting to do this matchup for a while.
Really long time.
But it's such a unique match. Kind of like, I compare it a lot to Solid Snake versus Sam Fisher, in that I've always wanted this to be more than just a fight, because the characters are about treasure hunting and finding things. So it's a kind of a complex match, really. But also major props over here to Nick for putting that trailer together, and of course the animation by Torrian right here. Really excited to see the final thing when it comes out February 1st on YouTube.
Yeah.
Man,
Just saying.
this has been requested for a really, really, really long time. And early on, too, we talked about...
Well, hang on a second. Nick just said Team Nate.
Yeah.
I think we got some bias from the writer over here.
Yeah, what in the hell?
I was doing my laundry last night, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I have this Uncharted shirt." So I,
You're just gonna wear
yeah,
the
surprise.
drink shirt.
I'm wearing this for every podcast that I'm on leading up to this.
That's not gonna.
You only
launch.
think you have it until Master Roshi shows up and wins the whole thing. Just saying.
Yes, that's how
Unscrew
Drake
attack.
versus Lara Croft is going to end.
Unscrew it. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Or the
Perfect.
creatures.
What are you doing?
How
There we
about
go.
that? They just show up. Anyway,
All
sorry.
of our
what were you
shirts are
saying?
relevant.
Oh,
apparently.
that this matchup was talked about for a long time. But early on, Ben and I talked about doing like the treasure hunting match and like who we wanted to do it with. But we talked about like it's kind of like, well, there's Nathan Drake, Lara Croft, and there's Indiana Jones. So like Indy was in there for a little bit in the running of like maybe getting matched up against Nathan or Laura. But then like the overwhelming response from the community was like they want to see Nathan Drake versus Lara Croft.
Both. Yeah, who's the king or the queen of treasure hunting video games?
Yes.
What if whoever
Exactly.
wins this faces off against Indiana
Indiana
Jones?
Feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't know. Dude, some of the things that we've seen in this fight, it's just absolutely absurd. And like,
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be crazy because it's like I remember the old Tomb Raider games, like pushing around like massive boulders as Laura, but like also learning like just like seeing some of the jumps and shit that Nathan Drake has survived because I never really played the Uncharted games. Like,
Oh man, you've got to. Like John and I have been playing through the Uncharted series. We finished Uncharted 2 all in one sitting on Sunday, actually.
Yeah.
Because he's never played them before. I played all of them and I love them.
The Uncharted games are pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, they're great. Like they're mostly enjoyable as movies, I would say, because like, especially some of the earlier games, because like the gunplay gets pretty annoying, but like the story and characters are what like really
Wasn't there a
make
movie
those
that was
games.
supposed to be made at some point?
Yeah, it was in development hell for forever, and Mark Wahlberg was going to be Nathan Drake.
That's right.
But actually, some news came out like just this week. Something I think
The script is done.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's gonna
that's
be
what, the
new
script
and
is done because the writer took like an Instagram photo of like the cover page of it or whatever. So that's step one. We have a script now.
See, this is what happens. We're just like, we're gonna do a death battle on some character, and then it's just like, and then here's new source material for
Oh, you know what? It
It's
gets
just like,
better.
"Ah, damn it.
Because they just cast the villain for the Tomb Raider reboot movie coming out.
Oh, that's
Whatever.
right. They were talking about that movie for a while too. Which
Yeah,
I mean,
I forgot all about it though. I've had my tabs more on Uncharted.
what
than
would you
Tomb Raider
rather play?
movie-wise.
An Uncharted game like Uncharted 2, which I think most people consider the best one. I haven't finished Uncharted 4, so I don't know enough.
Gotcha.
Or
2, 3, and 4 are
the
so
new
close for me.
Tomb Raider
Rise of the
series.
Tomb Raider?
The original reboot.
Oh, the
first
Tomb Raider,
reboot.
Tomb Raider 2013?
That one,
Yeah.
yes.
Survivor Timeline?
Which is one of the best games I've played in the past decade, I'd say.
Gosh, dude, that's a tough one. I think the Tomb Raider reboot probably is better as a game, but I don't know. I can't choose. I'm not.
Uncharted,
I'm
I think, is definitely more fun. Like, it's just
Yeah,
a more
yeah,
fun
yeah.
environment just because of the characters involved.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'm just afraid of whatever I say is gonna like be like, we're biased.
Whatever, don't worry about that. Like,
You're wearing a Nathan
yeah.
Drake shirt.
you've already committed to bias.
Sure.
So you have to answer Uncharted now.
Sure.
That's it.
But like gameplay wise, I would lean toward Tomb Raider. Characters and story wise, I'd lean toward Uncharted.
Because the Tomb Raider game is kind of like, it's a really good game, but it's
Yeah,
a little depressing at times.
Yeah,
just how like gritty it gets.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also
Especially,
Laura
like-
almost gets raped at one point.
Yeah, especially like the
Yeah.
restarting. What I would like to
God,
see if they decide to do it is I would like to see a third game with her just like, because I mean Lara Croft, the older Tomb Raider games, it started off as she was already a badass. And
Yeah.
she already had money and
They've
she was
been building
already
her up.
experienced. I think the third game of this like rebooted Lara Croft should be that. Be cool.
Well, there
to
were
see.
rumors that the title of it potentially got leaked. Like nothing else has been said about it, but
Okay.
the title was like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So it doesn't sound like they're losing the gritty edginess.
It's
just
actually
yet.
just that, you know, through some weird, like, ancient relic, Lara's grown insanely huge, and then she just wanders around, and you
Oh,
have to climb
like
her,
Shadow of
and
the
then
Colossus.
eventually
That'd
take
be
her. Yeah, see, you got it.
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus.
Yep.
But
It'd
it's
be
Lara
dope
Croft.
to see. Like, I want it to be not as campy, but like the Angelina Jolie movies, where she's just like doing this batshit Matrix style stuff because she's Tomb Raider.
Which are pretty well, at least the first one is pretty
They're
good.
okay. They're
Question
fun.
mark?
They're fun B.
Like, yeah, it's a
action
fun like
movies.
B action
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
kind of thing. That's a really good way to.
When she
Yeah,
trains
to
against a
treat them.
robot, when's she ever gonna meet a robot in the tomb? I don't know. Just in case this robot knows everything.
Torrian got so excited
prepared.
when he saw that robot fight, because like the second that robot fight was witnessed by him, it just like opened up a whole world, and he's just like, yes, like this fight's gonna get kind of Matrixy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And she's. I was gonna.
I remember
put
John.
the robot in the fight. Because
John
Drake will
was-
run away. He's not gonna fight the robot. He's like-
Yeah, John was doing mocap, or about to do mocap with her. He comes over and he's like, "Hey, does Lara Croft like actually do flips, or is Torrian just going on another one of his things?"
You gotta think about the PlayStation 1. Think about the PlayStation 1 game. Like, that was one of the few third-person games where you can just do no-handed side flips and back flips and front flips off the
Oh, yeah,
wall
Lara
flips.
Croft is all about it.
Like, if she could choose to run or flip, she'd probably choose to flip. Like, just to travel,
Well,
just to get around.
Do you remember the first movie with Angelina Jolie where like she has that absurd fight scene on like the bungee cords while like
Yeah.
he's, like blast?
That was cool. That was awesome.
She's like bunging from like one side of the other and back again and stuff. And like,
great.
she's completely surrounded.
Well, yeah, we were actually looking into what martial art Lara Croft is trained under.
Because it's unspecific. And
It's a little unspecific, but we wanted to figure out like what exactly she trained under and what she's skilled at.
And we find that ridiculous scene.
Well, one of the ways we found out that was kickboxing is we went to find out what Angelina Jolie's training was for that movie. And one of them was kickboxing, and the other one for the martial arts and stuff was bungee ballet,
Yep.
which is a real thing.
Yeah, it is. Kenny talks about
I still don't think it's a real thing.
I mean-
I think it was
I mean,
invented
you just
for
look
the
at that movie, and
I
you
know,
got the
but
real thing.
She's like the first person in the history of mankind to ever do that.
Outside
Outside of like Cirque du Soleil.
it like
Literally,
ties
it
didn't
into
exist
the,
before she invented it.
It ties into like the silks thing when the women are like dancing with the silks hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, you're like
It's
Cirque du Soleil.
Only
stuff
now
like
it's
that.
stretching. You can launch yourself and do like super flips.
And you're killing people while
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's
She's cool. I like her.
So anyway, we're really excited for this episode. And also, just real quick, we've got two excellent actors portraying Lara and Nathan this time around. Lara, of course, being British, we found a British actress named Eileen Montgomery. She's been doing a lot of abridged stuff online, so I'm really excited to have her.
Oh, cool.
playing her. She does a fantastic Lara.
Absolutely.
And then the guy who plays Nathan, Gianni Matrigrano, you might recognize that name as the guy who played Lex Luthor and Sweet Tooth for us.
Oh, great. Man,
So he
that
doesn't
guy's-
actually
he's-
have a
he's
deep
got a
voice in
range.
real life.
Yeah.
This is more of his normal voice. He
That's
just
great.
sounds like Nathan.
That guy's versatile.
Yeah, he is.
All right,
So
well, cool.
I'm really pumped up for this one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And like, Torrian, I know you're on probably your 7th energy drink for the day because you've just been grinding away on animation, but you excited?
Yes.
Are you just saying that?
Torrian just wants to be done.
I am also just saying that. So you guys decide. But it's not even really the animation. It's stuff outside the animation. But it's gonna be cool. The very first thing I did is make a flip. So because I
of
knew
course. I've seen the flip. It's a good
no
flip.
one was gonna tell. That's not the flip.
It's
a different one.
That's the one you showed us. The real one is the
Because
first one.
I knew.
What if the flip was the friends you made along
I
the way?
knew how Laura is. Like I was like, oh yes.
What if Lara never actually runs through this whole fight? She just
This is all
backflips
flips.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's just handsprings and flips.
Yeah.
Shooting her guns somehow?
Yep.
Oh, is that what we're doing? I don't believe that's what's in the script, but you know, if that's what you end up
She
interpreting the
runs
script
once.
as.
She runs twice so far.
She runs twice.
Oh,
so
okay.
far.
Great.
Yeah, because I think it goes something like run, flip, roll, run.
That's 3 runs.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
that's
That's more runs than flips so far.
yeah, but that's like not enough runs. That's not enough. Like,
Might there be some
so that means
climbing?
like a third of her way so far, she's done anything but run.
Okay. I mean, yeah, there's some climbing too. We're trying to go a little all out with this fight, so
A little all out.
a little all
Yeah,
out.
it's this script has gone through 4 revisions to like, let's try and make this a little more realistic and less completely insane.
Realistic as far as like able to be done on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not completely realistic like humans would actually be able to do everything you see.
Well, Angelina's a real person.
Well, Angelina Jolie's a real person.
She's a real person.
But
Lara Croft is not.
it's funny looking at, of course, you know, when we're doing research, we look at everything that we can, and we also look at what other people have found for characters. You know, we go to respect threads and stuff. And generally, Lara and Nathan are depicted as peak human, which is
Yeah.
like they lift as much as a human in peak physical condition can lift. That's
have
not
to be.
true. That's not true. Oh my god, these
Yeah,
guys
no.
are superhuman by far. Like, it's ridiculous. We've done some crazy math. These guys, whoo, they can lift quite a bit more than any human could
Oh
possibly
yeah,
do.
definitely. It's
Will they
ludicrous.
survive? Could either one of them survive being thrown through a wall?
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. They've both done it.
Absolutely.
Like, how many times have we like done some math, arrived at the answer, and then just pause, and I'm just like, that's stupid. How many times does
a
that
bit.
happen?
Like at least twice a week, I think.
I'm looking forward to the rundown.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
all right. Yeah, no, I'm super excited for it. Oh,
Yeah.
Can't come soon enough. But yeah, February 1st. Lara
What team
Croft
are you on?
versus Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake.
We got Team Drake over
We
here.
know what team you're on, and you wrote it.
That's great. It's like
That's not going to be great for
There's
us.
never any winning with this anyway because it's like
great for
so. If Lara wins, then people are gonna be like, he was just trying to throw us off. But then if Nathan wins, they're gonna be like, see, they are biased. By the
There's
way,
no winning, so you might as well just pick a side. You can't win
Might
anyway.
as well
Dude, I
just
mean,
pick a side.
these are his clothes. He was doing laundry. Like, what do you want him to do? Be naked?
what you don't know is he's actually wearing Lara Croft underwear.
I mean, I do want to real quick.
That would be kind of sexy.
For
you
anybody who hasn't
misunderstood
watched,
him. It's not Lara Croft. It's Lara Croft's underwear.
For anybody who hasn't watched
know where I'm
the
going with
show
this.
before, when we've been discussing how we decide verdicts, we do just decide verdicts with a group of people. It's not just one writer who decides the verdict.
Yeah,
the writer,
it's not a vote. It's a debate. I was explaining the show to somebody recently, actually, and said pretty much those exact words.
Yeah.
Like, it's you got to use evidence. It's not popularity.
Yeah. And we argue it into the ground until it's unanimous
Yes.
agreement.
Generally, the setup goes, or the process goes, Nick is in charge of an episode, this time Lara versus Nathan. And he will start research with some help from Gerardo, who's typically helping him out. And they will go through as much as they can and come up with a verdict. And then they'll bring that verdict to us, Chad and I. And it's our job to argue the opposite verdict as much as possible until we can, all four of us can settle on an anonymous decision of who should win.
Anonymous?
Unanimous.
Unanimous.
There we go.
Unanimous.
Unanimous
So someone other than us.
There
picks
might
the
be
verdict.
somebody else, Mr. Anonymous Death Battle Decider.
No, it's the hacking group.
The hacking
Clearly.
group.
So
Yes.
we do all this research, and the guy comes in. He's like, "They win," and we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
And of course, it's not just us four. We also have a team of a bunch of researchers who help us out as well.
Who are amazing.
Yeah, which kind of help Nick and Gerardo and Sam and Jessica for their episodes come to the initial verdict conclusion that they pitched to us. So we got a bunch of people working on these verdicts.
Yeah.
All right, can you give me like a little? Can you give me a little nugget of information? Vertically, who can jump the highest?
We see Lara jump vertically higher
Vertically is
than Nathan, but
Just like standing straight up.
horizontal jumps, that's where things get.
jump.
Yeah, like when John and I were playing Uncharted 2 over the weekend, he even said, like, man, Nate has such a crappy vertical, but his horizontal is ridiculous.
Yeah, which I don't want to spoil anything, but that was one thing we were just talking about the other day. It was just like running the calculations on his horizontal jump, especially in one specific instance, and we were just like, holy shit.
We found a very impressive jump that I think we're going to have a lot of numbers and like arcing calculations and stuff on the screen for the episode with.
And then
gonna
you
go
two
good.
will say, that's stupid.
Well, speaking of jumps, why don't I just jump right into this read for Blue Apron?
That one's
God.
okay. That one was okay.
I know.
I
I'm
give you
doing
like,
okay.
I give you like a 5.
All right. So, first of all, if you guys don't know what Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient recipe delivery service in the country. And if you're wondering what that means, basically, it's a service that sends you fresh ingredients from awesome meals straight to your door. It's like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? Because I'm sure like some people hear about this and they're like, food service, like, I don't know if I want to do that. And I was like, I don't know if that's for me, right? I'm so glad I tried it. Because, oh my God. All right. So they send you exactly what you need to create a meal. And they're reducing food waste. So like literally it comes in like the exact proportions, which is another thing too, because like I'm not the best in the kitchen. My wife is awesome. But so if I'm making a meal, I'm like, I need instructions to the T. And it's great. It's like, here's your literal bottle of like whatever you need. And you're just like, perfect. And like everything to make the meal right out the gate, right? They also feature a bunch of different interesting man, I can't even talk right now. Interesting recipes. You can actually go to the website and then you can pick the ones that you want. So like it'll be like, hey, these are what's upcoming. But if maybe one of those didn't sound like it would be good for you. Like for me, I'm like, I can't handle spicy foods. So like I would go and I would change, and there's a ton of really cool options. Yeah, for example, like one of the ones that's featured in an upcoming one is the mushroom and chipotle pepper enchiladas with lime sour cream.
So I can make my own Chipotle?
You can make. Oh, it's better than Chipotle because these like all like farm fresh ingredients and like super natural everything. It's awesome.
So
and
Chipotle's not
Supernatural
I
everything?
said super. Pause. Natural.
There was no
It's, like,
pause.
There was no
very
pause.
natural.
Ghost beef? Oh,
So
man.
I'm not saying that like ghosts are involved, but it could
You open your
hurt.
box like, oh man, I can't wear that quick. Ah, Casper!
I'll tell you what, the only thing that would be supernatural is how
Slimer.
good you feel in your soul once you've eaten some. So the instructions are super easy to follow, and there's a huge variety of meals. So do me a favor, go check out this week's menu, and you guys, by watching Death Battle Cast, you can get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping. Just by going to blueapron.com/DBC. So the abbreviation of Death Battle Cast. So Blue Apron is a better way to cook, and remember, blueapron.com/DBC. I promise. Like, go check it out. It's great.
I've had Blue Apron before. It's good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Real good burgers.
I feel like I am a like way more fancy eater because it's Blue Apron. Because like before, I'm just like I just need to consume food and
But
live.
see-
But now I'm just like I'll surprise my wife. She'll come home and I'm like, look, I made this like super ricotta fancy name that I can't even pronounce, and it's perfect.
But I felt bad after I did it though. Like, so I'm gonna tell you why. Not because of the Blue Apron. The Blue Apron was great. Did it, made some burgers. It was all nice. It was, blue cheese. It was real fancy. And I ate it, and I was like, that was great.
Yeah.
But I was still hungry.
What?
So I went out and bought some more fast food.
Are you kidding me? Well, so you didn't customize your meal right because they have like okay. Well, first of all, were you cooking for other
But
people?
I'm greedy. No, I was thinking for me.
So they have multiple meals. You can choose the ones that suit for you. Like there's the like feeds 2 people. They have ones that feed the whole family.
How many people are you?
Yeah, I mean, like, is this because you can't like I was able to feed me, my
I
wife,
thought it
and
was
my
gonna-
daughter on the 2-person meal. So like
I thought it was gonna be enough, and it wasn't.
that's a you problem.
They have
That is
portion.
not I'm a grown man. I need all the. See how big my shoes are? I need all the nutritional food I can get
That's
to
ridiculous.
grow.
I fed myself, my wife, and my daughter off of a 2-person Blue Apron meal. So you can.
You can just use the website to pick out what kind of meal that you want and
Figure out how many
need to
people
feed.
you are and
How many people you are?
How many people you are.
I'm
It's
3
perfect.
people.
Yeah.
You just
Go check it out.
All right, we do have a community death battle
We do.
to talk about. Every week we come up with a death battle idea and we pitch it to you guys who should win in a match. And you can respond using the hashtag deathbattlecast right down there on Twitter. And we will show off some of our favorite answers, like right now. So last week we had the community death battle between the Minions and the Rabbids.
that's right.
Yep.
It was awful.
Oh, I'm thinking about the one
don't know.
before last week. I'm sorry.
Wait, we
Why
didn't
would
know
you
that.
even mention that? You could not say that and just act more professional and be like, "Oh yes, that's right.
right.
That was really interesting matchup,
I
wasn't it?"
didn't remember, but I just played it off.
Yeah, exactly. Just act like Chad.
No, I remember though. As soon as you said it, it
Okay.
came back
But
to
we
me.
didn't know that.
Anyway,
unless-
Listen, the
point is-
Raisin Bran son.
Point is, I frankly, I'm at fault too because I don't remember what conclusion we came to. But I guess it doesn't matter.
Just yelled at me.
We leave it up to
Because
the
we leave it up to
for the
them.
same thing.
We leave it up to them. So,
I wasn't here, so I'm in the clear.
Yelled at me for the
anyway,
same thing.
we've got some answers from the community. John Francis McCullough over teching the tech and streaming the stream. Can you pull up the first one? Coda Fox. All right, thanks, John.
All right, Death Battle Cast. Rabbids would win. Near indestructible, violent killer instinct, adaptability with weaponry, even plungers. Damn it. Okay.
What?
Okay,
Yeah, these
violent killer instincts.
These plungers.
I guess
and-
they are
I
like
mean,
enemies
They
originally.
are
right?
rabid.
Yeah.
So
actually, not that I hate the Rabbids almost as much as I hate the Minions, but I will say I remember reviewing back in like 2009 Ninja Turtles Smash Up on Wii. You
Yeah.
guys remember that?
Yeah.
There were like
No.
there's like 5 or 6 unlockable characters. 4 of them were Rabbids.
What? Really?
Yeah, one of them was like a ninja rabbit. One was like a Splinter Cell rabbit. One was just like a regular rabbit. I don't remember what the
at the
4th one
anger
was.
in his-
It might have been only 3. But yeah, I was upset.
because you could have gotten something cool like Baxter
Could
Stockman.
have gotten
or
like
Yeah, yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
But
Three
instead-
rabbits, 3 or 4 rabbits. Anyway,
And
so
a Ninja Turtles fighting game that wanted to be Smash Brothers.
Yep.
yeah,
That's even weirder.
Yeah, it was strange. It didn't do well.
no, it didn't.
All right, let's see the counter argument from Trey Moons. I think I said that right. The Minions take this battle. They have better teamwork. Plus, Gru snapped one of their necks before, and they still lived.
Did he?
I don't remember that, but I can totally see it happening as a little Joker's like, and then it's just fine.
I mean, the Minions.
Do they even have like skeletons?
I think
feel
so
like-
because I
like-
think they've been electrocuted and they have the little.
that's right. That's
generic-
right. Yeah.
I'm pretty
So
sure.
then, how do you even kill them?
the Minions are immortal? Like,
Yeah, they're
they
like,
live through the ages or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
You can think of like a.
Oh yeah, with the Minions movie. I only saw the trailer for the Minions movie, but wasn't it like
I did
the
see it
same?
once.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But it's
apparently-
like the same Minions that follow Gru around and stuff are from the Stone Age.
Yeah,
I don't know if
at
it's
least
the
that's
same
what it
one.
seemed like to me.
Wait, you saw
I'm
the
trying to
movie and it
remember.
wasn't
I
even
did-
clear?
I don't. It probably was clear, but I just wasn't paying attention because I didn't like it.
Follow 3 of them. They're basically all of
That's not what happens in the movie.
Oh, no?
What happens in the movie is there's a montage at the beginning, very similar to Despicable Me 2, where it's like going through history and where the Minions came from, and then like I think that was Despicable Me 2. I don't remember. The Minions like helping out dinosaurs and helping out dictators from the past
Because
things
they
like
want to
that.
be enslaved,
Yeah.
right?
I guess so.
Yeah, and it looked like it was the
Wanna be
same
enslaved.
ones, but it never specified until the present day when they were all in some like Arctic cave and
Yeah.
they all got lonely because nobody was there to enslave them or something like that.
Man, I always thought
It's
the
a
minions were
weird story.
manufactured.
So
That would have been better.
I always
If
thought they were
Gru
like
just had a machine
like
that would
little
pump out
homunculi,
minions.
like how they just make them. I thought that's what they were.
They sound kind of like Oompa Loompas, honestly.
they kind of are.
A little bit, yeah.
Um,
You want to throw Oompa Loompas into this mix as well?
it's just,
Yeah, we kind of like the Oompa Loompas. At least. They didn't annoy us much.
I don't like them.
I don't like
except for
the Oompa
there
I don't
were
like
like
the
100 deep roys. That was when it weirded me out.
I thought the Oompa Loompas were always supposed to weird you out.
I mean, I guess.
Like,
They
But it was
keep
just
singing
when they chose
songs to
one
celebrate
person
a
to play
child's
all of them.
passing.
What?
They keep singing songs to celebrate a child's passing.
I mean,
Yeah, that kid did die. That kid died. All of them died. All those kids died. Like
that's Willy Wonka's death factory.
even like one of my younger cousins, she came to that conclusion on her own. She's very young. She was like, "This movie was cool. It's old, but why do all the kids die?"
Why'd the kid and the old man get really high?
But okay, then what about when they show them all alive and perfectly fine? at the end of the movie?
She was like, they died.
No, those
Like,
are clones.
No. Yeah, that
Out
they
of
don't show
candy.
them alive in the original movie, do they? Like once they're gone, you never see them again.
Yeah, I
You're
don't think
thinking of
you-
the Tim
Maybe they
Burton one.
don't.
I don't think you ever see
In the
them
Tim
again.
Burton one, you see them like walking out of the factory. One's like all flat, whatever. One's all fat and being rolled away. That's only the Tim Burton one.
I don't remember.
I
been
think
a
you're
long
right.
time.
No, because once
actually.
Charlie wins, that's the end of the kid's story. Like you don't
Charlie-
see no other
yeah,
kids.
'cause
Charlie
Okay.
gets to the final boss or whatever, Willy Wonka himself, and then like they happily ever after.
Willy Wonka versus the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, which
Wonka
Johnny-
doesn't have
Johnny
any
Depp?
like powers though. He
Have you seen what his candy can do?
That's I mean, but the Oompas actually make the candy.
Well, yeah, but he.
Wonka has astounding technology.
Yeah, Wonka
yeah.
has astounding technology, says
guess.
John.
Willy Wonka's got the craziest fortress of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
I assume you
That
could-
is true.
I'm sure you could make like a gum that was like the stickiest substance on the planet, and like you could just
yeah.
trap them there.
And he can fly. He can do the fizzing whizzies or whatever it's called.
yeah, he can just keep hiccuping
yeah.
and fly around. And,
Yeah.
and he's got the Wonka Vader.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
Fought monsters.
yeah, he's pretty
fought
much got his little.
monsters? When did he fight a monster? When did he fight a
John,
monster?
John, John just said he fought a monster.
Willy Wonka.
So
Willy Wonka fought monsters to save the Oompa Loompa. This is in the Tim Burton continuity.
If you're gonna weigh in here, John, come around so they can hear you.
The Tim Burton
The Tim
continuity?
Burton
What?
continuity.
The Tim Burton movie. Like,
No, isn't it based on a book or something like that?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
By
and
Roald
the Tim
Dahl.
Burton
Is the
movie
Tim Burton
tried to
one
get
Johnny
more of
Depp?
it into it.
Yes.
Okay.
hello. Okay, so
John!
hey everyone, I'm John McCullough. So Willy Wonka, yeah, he fought. I forget the names, Vapor Snaps or something.
Vapor
But
Snaps.
there were these creatures that were eating Oompa Loompas, and Willy Wonka went to their land and defeated them. And freed the Oompa Loompas. That's why the Oompa Loompas work for him out of thanks and for
Oh,
safety.
okay.
So he's fought giant monsters, and he has astounding technology. And obviously, he's a magnificent chemist. I mean, look at this candy. So
Look at this
kick
kid.
most people's ass.
All right.
right.
Willy Wonka might
Thank
be
you,
a viable
John.
contendant for a real death battle after all.
And the Mad Hatter, all he has going for him is he's just batshit insane.
Okay, but back to the matter at hand.
Minions win.
Minions win, you think?
I think so, because I did see another point that we didn't bring up here, but somebody's just like, you know, the rabbits can go through all this stuff, but if you shoot them with a plunger, they die. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
because remember the
that
whole
it?
rabbits game, the
Rayman
Wii one,
Raving
where you're
Rabbits.
just raving
Yeah,
rabbits,
yeah.
you just shoot them with
Even
plungers
in
and
the
they're down.
cartoon, that's how they're taken out.
Do the minions have plungers?
I'm sure they could get one.
They're all about the
this random
toilet humor.
They make a unicorn out of a plunger.
They make a unicorn out of a plunger, apparently. Oh yeah, they probably stuck. Perfect.
I mean, they are servants. I'm sure there's a couple custodian, janitor,
Yeah.
minions running around.
He'll be the hero. She's like, ah! And they're like, you imagine because they're all fighting and they can't kill each other, but then one of them, just in desperation, just plunges one, and the thing, like, I imagine, just like melts down to acid and bones because we never see it. They always like fall off screen. Usually,
Oh, like when the rabbits get hit with plungers?
Yeah.
They just faint.
Oh.
Like, well, they die, but they just fall over.
Right.
Because they do it in the cartoon. So, like, the other rabbits, they hit other rabbits with plungers. They get stuck on their face.
Wait,
and
is
then
there a
they just-
rabbits cartoon?
yeah.
It's been quite a few seasons. It's only
Is it
Nickelodeon.
still going?
God.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But
So-
it was on for a while.
Okay,
The Dark
let's not
Ages
talk
may be
about
over.
this
Remember,
shit anymore.
Torrian knows all about the kids' cartoons and like the ridiculousness.
It was
of
around that time they gave the Madagascar cartoon, and then the Penguins cartoon was around that time where they gave the rabbits their own cartoon. So
Well, I'm gonna go with Minions.
As much
Based
as
on
I
that.
hate Minions, I think they'd probably take it.
I think I would actually watch a Minions movie over a Rabbids movie.
I'm gonna go with the rabbits.
So I'm gonna go with the Minions.
They're crazy.
Well, 3 against 1. You're overruled. Torrian, you lose.
They're crazy though.
All right. Well,
God.
good times.
Yes. All right. I think now's a good break for our out of context comic book panel of the day, week,
This is
whatever.
one of my
this is.
favorite parts of the entire show.
Let's go for
They
it.
never know
What
what's
atrocities do we have today? Moments later.
Yeah, you got it,
Robin,
Nick.
thanks. Whew, my knees are still wobbly.
They're running out of a closet.
Oh no!
Oh.
I'm
How
assuming.
many? Wait, Batman's knees are wobbly?
Yeah.
So he was getting.
Well, dude, of course
So he was on the
Batman's
ground?
pitching.
I'm assuming.
How many?
I
How
would
many of
always
these?
assume that the joke would be the other way around.
Wait. No.
Which
okay,
adds
hold
an
on.
extra layer of comedy to it.
Okay, so
How
now,
many? How many?
You don't want me to
Batman and
go
Robin.
really in depth in this, but I'm going to because I have to explain this rationale. You're saying his knees are wobbly because, like, you know, I guess of the pounding that he was receiving. I'm saying
No.
Okay,
He was on the ground, on his knees.
Oh, well, okay, got it. I mean, that works too. Whatever. But see, it was from that context. See, I'm coming from the fact of that they just went into a closet, and see, it doesn't say like minutes or hours later. It's moments later. So I imagine.
Be a quick one.
Well, right. I imagine that he was getting a beach, right? And so because of that, like, you know, because afterwards, you know, it was really good. Your knees are a little wobbly, right? And so that's what I was thinking. That Batman, you know, just anyway. That's why it works. In my
Okay,
mind.
anyway, that's
get
a
the
wonderful
feeling-
conversation to have.
I get the feeling this could just very easily be the Batman and Robin out of context panel of the week.
Oh yeah, totally. There's a
Like
million.
there's a reason why the joke has lasted as long as it has.
It's also great that one of them's name is Dick, so that just sets up for great situations.
I'm assuming the actual context of that is they were like doing some
It looked like there's some giant fan in there.
teleporting,
something.
or like cartoonish like speed thing.
They
or
might have
something.
also just been changing into their outfits.
or like
something like
warped
that.
into like a I don't know.
It's just
Which
great that Robin's holding his
means
hand
they
and
were
they're running it.
changing clothes together in a
I'm sure they've
closet
done that
in a
hundreds of
closet.
times in the old comics.
probably.
Yeah, usually it's on the way down to the Batcave in tubes, right? That's what it used to be.
If they were in the Batcave, they would go into the tube, it would change them,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they'd
yeah.
shoot up or whatever. Or no, they
it'd
would
be
change
up,
and then
and
get
they-
into the tube.
They get in the phone,
That's
and,
right.
like, and then they hit the little button behind the Shakespeare bust, and then they
we
slide.
never did get into their dressing room. We don't know what goes on in
So
there.
here's the thing with that, right? So the future or just like cool technology likes to do the thing where you're in a tube and you go to like somewhere else or whatever. If you land out of that tube, wouldn't you get hurt really bad?
Not if you're Batman.
No,
You mean what?
I
If you
was gonna-
land out of the tube?
Let's use Futurama for example, right? Because they can travel with the tubes or whatever. That something has to be pulling you or like pushing you to just go through the tube.
Like you're moving really fast.
so if you at
Is
the,
what
at the end of it and you
Oh, you
hit the
mean just the
ground, how are you not
okay,
hurt?
sorry.
It comes
It's
up so
called
that
it-
you're
it's-
standing and you walk out of the tube.
It's called a pneumatic tube.
Well, no, it isn't.
No, it's called a pneumatic tube. They use them in banks. Like, you think that the bank...
Yeah,
no, listen.
to transport items.
Right, but do you think that the bankers are just chilling there and then all of a sudden the tube just like slams into the thing? You know, it's like, oh, blam, it's like a
No,
gunshot every time
sometimes
somebody
it does. Like, you ever go to the
No,
bank
it goes-
and you go to like the drive-through part and the lady sends the tube back, that thing shoots down and like lands there.
No, you hear the... Don't you remember hearing the... or whatever the...
No,
it's them.
it
It's,
doesn't
it blasts
slow
the
down.
counter. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. That thing comes down and it hits, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then you got to open the thing and you get your deposit book or
Do you
whatever.
say whoa every
bank are
time?
you going to?
Like, look.
That
Anyway, and also
fires
in
money at you.
Futurama, a lot
In
of
Detroit.
the tubes are the end of the tube is pointed out, so the people land on their feet.
Yeah, there's got to be
Yeah.
the counter air blowing up to slow it down.
No, I don't think so. They're on the there's nothing there.
Well, then everybody in Futurama is impervious to fall damage.
What?
That's
That's what
that
you're
means.
trying to say.
It is
But
the
I love
future.
that, like, without even going into science. Like, I was immediately to start going into pneumatic tubes. Ben's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But Nick was just like, "Not for Batman."
Batman survives like whatever, right?
That's true.
Right?
He just went with the Batman argument. So
I'm just saying, you get hurt pretty bad.
listen, we don't need to do this experiment. Like, let's build a giant. Oh, somebody
Send
must have
Torrian through a
built.
tube.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
Torrian,
much
are
it
you
gets
willing
hurt.
to check this out and see
No,
exactly
because
what would
why
happen to a
would I
person?
do it if I'm worried about other people getting hurt?
watch me.
I don't. Why would I do that?
I'm gonna really blow your mind here,
Uh-oh,
Torrian.
here we go.
What you really need to ask yourself is, how did they turn around?
What do you mean?
Because
Like,
they
you-
go
you-
into the tubes head up.
Not all of them. Some. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different variations on it. In Futurama, you're right.
See, there it is.
Yeah, you're
I was
right.
waiting
You're
for
right.
that
That's
moment.
what I thought you were talking about.
In
I thought you
Futurama,
were-
they do get sucked into it, but sometimes some people like lay down and then they go and then they're on their feet, or some people just like
How many examples of tube
Well,
technology?
like,
some
with
people
Batman,
step
it's
in
like an
sideways
elevator.
and they get sucked this way, but then at the end they're like standing up. It's really weird.
Well, like with Batman, it's like an elevator, just in a tube. So
Okay,
it
I
like
understand
sends them
that.
up like
That-
this.
That's cool because
But
you got
in-
like the floor on your feet, but like the tubes where it's just you and no platform around you, like a slide, but like
It's basically like a water slide kind of deal, except with air.
yeah, but you're safely landing in water.
How do you think tubes work? Let us know in the comments below.
Props if you send us a letter via pneumatic tube.
Yes, please. One that can fit Torrian, so we can try it out for ourselves.
Can we get a pneumatic tube system from Torrian's office to ours? So
Sounds
that we
great,
can send him
actually.
notes and we can show him. So every time he hears it, it does the and then it comes in.
No, I want to be able to write it so we're like, hey, we want to go for lunch.
Yeah, perfect.
We do that every day
well,
anyway.
we can start with just the message one, and then when we get enough money, we can get the human-sized one.
Dude, screw that. I would never go in that shit. Like, I'm not really.
Oh, you're gonna have to.
I'm not claustrophobic. Like, it's because we're taking
it's
out
what
the
we do now.
doors.
It's what we do now here at Screw
We're
Attack.
just taking out the floor between offices.
Yeah.
So
You know, it's
have
only a
to
matter of
travel.
time before somebody tries to prank you. Just like, see, I bet I can time it so he gets caught
Stuck
like right
in
at
the
the
middle
top
of
of
the
the arch.
Yeah. See, that shit would be
If
terrifying.
we ever change buildings to something that has multiple floors,
Yep.
let's take out the elevators and replace it with the tubes.
Dude, you guys remember when
I hope we even have elevators.
Do you guys remember in our old office when I was that close to getting a fire pole installed?
Yes.
Because
Remember-
we had a really.
We talked about this for so long.
I know.
We tried for so long.
And it got to the
so
point where
close.
Krug was like, how much is a fire pole?
Dude, no, he looked it up. Eventually, what it was the like getting the permit for like whatever you had all going through all the paperwork to have a fire pole. It was even to have like that second story loft we were gonna put in. It was just like a huge pain in the ass. But otherwise, like everyone was on board, and I was so happy because I was like,
Yeah.
I think we did it. I think we're gonna have a fire pole.
I had a bad experience with a fire pole.
Is that why you don't like heights?
Well, so like
How do you have a bad experience with a fire pole? Did it like mug you?
So like in middle school, you know, they would have like where you can go and hang out at the fire station, and,
Yeah,
or sometimes they'll have like that little bus that come to your school or whatever, teach you about fire safety and all
Hold
that
on.
stuff.
The fire bus?
Oh yeah, in elementary school there was a bus that came. It was like a big RV type thing, and when you go inside, it'll teach you how to where to hide and what to do in case of a fire.
Oh, so it's okay.
It's like it's like a course.
It's not an emergency response vehicle.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, well they had that, but it was like
We'll be there in 50 minutes.
It was an RV, but it was an RV truck / thing. Like it was on a bed of a truck, like a small house on the bed of a truck, and then there was like a course to go through to show you what to do in case
It's a
there's
portable
fire.
classroom, basically.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. But so in middle school
never
we
had
actually
that.
Yeah,
was
I've never heard anything.
I was in
Yeah.
elementary
we had a
school.
fire truck actually show up to our school and start spraying us all with water. Like it was like a field day type thing. So they
Yeah,
like,
that's what it was.
they were arcing it. They were arcing it.
Oh, you unruly little
That's
bastards!
what it was, but like a lot of that stuff, a lot of like teaching stuff like that came in the form of trucks. Like we had the Swimmobile. Anyway,
What? God, I can't even move on. No. Tell me.
Explain.
Tell me the
Okay,
Swimmobile.
Okay,
Was
I'll
it?
tell you.
I just wanna guess it.
I'll talk to you about the Swimmobile.
Let me guess it.
I can't wait to be
Was
disappointed
it
by
a
this.
truck that was pulling a big ass just above ground pool behind it? Or not? Was it just a really long bedded truck that someone had
Now
put
that
tarps in?
now that I'm an adult, it is probably the worst idea I've ever heard of in my life.
Okay, what is it?
Because it is that, right? It is that, but it looked like a very elongated garbage truck.
So it was actually in the bed of the truck.
It was
Was
yes.
an above ground pool.
They
Yes.
just tarped it off?
Yes. So no. It was like this.
I'm gonna Google the fucking Detroit Swimmobile.
So you could do like laps
This
in
is
it?
why we need the computer, John.
Yeah.
This is why we need the computer. It was a semi truck, and then the bed of the truck was more longer than like a normal bed. Like think of it like the longest
Like
truck
longer
you've
than a
seen.
trailer?
Oh my god,
But longer.
auto-populated.
but longer. And it looked
God.
on the outside. It looked like when they have like the big garbage cans on top of the back of a truck, because the garbage people are like taking the cans away, like the big long ones.
Sure.
Like when you're doing construction, and then they have that big one outside. It looked like a bigger version of that. And then on the outside,
That's huge.
yes, sort of like it wasn't as boxy though.
That looks like the kind of truck that used to like
Yeah,
move
yeah, yeah.
gravel.
It wasn't.
And stuff.
Go walk up
Yeah,
walk up
they
to
can
the
see it
camera.
just fine.
Okay.
we'll have to see.
It wasn't as boxy as that though. It was more curved on the bottom, like an
Okay.
actual swimming pool.
That is the most redneck thing.
It is probably the worst thing
It's a little hard to
because
see, but-
that thing.
You get the
now
idea.
that I think about it, was probably filthy. Like after half an hour of kids just in the back.
Oh,
of this,
sure.
It's just like a big bathtub. You're in the
there's no
bathtub for a
filters or
while,
anything.
and you're like the dirt's in the bathtub. You're like, I gotta get out of here.
But there's
It's
no
like
drain.
this.
So was this like a pool that you could swim laps down, or was
It
it
was
just like
super long, but I don't think anyone's swimming in it. I think it was just there just to hang out, like just a normal pool.
Just jump in and
shallow.
cool off.
I think it was only like 4 to 5 feet deep, but all the way. But anyway,
I guess I can see.
Did it
was
drive
this
while
like
people
a,
were in it?
no.
Well, was this
no,
like a
no.
thing you could rent?
Although,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
maybe you
Can you
don't have
imagine?
access to
Because
a pool, so you would rent a
one
truck
time we
to
had
come over
a
and bring
block
a pool
party
to
at the
you?
local rec center. They rented it, and then it came to our school once.
Okay.
Although, can
So-
you imagine the thought of hot tubbing at like 60 miles an hour?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, if you
Would it be
die
thrilling
comes
or
There
from
are
relaxing?
limos that can do that for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Like-
Back to my fire pole
Sure.
disaster story, though. We went to the firehouse, and I've never been the greatest rope climber. Like, and we were in PE, and kids were doing that. I'm like, I'll take the hit.
Did you
I
try
got
to go
enough.
up it?
Here's the thing: we're at the top, and all the kids, for obvious reasons, are like, "Oh man, fire pole! We got to go down there. We got to slide or whatever." Me, being crippling afraid of heights since I was born, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And all the kids going down the pole, they're like, "Yeah, that was awesome." One kid gets stuck because he didn't know to kind of loosely let it go to go down or whatever. So they just pushed him down. It was funny. Just pushed him down. Just pushed him all the way down or whatever. All right, Torrian, you can go. No, I'm good. I'm fine or whatever. There's this girl I was trying to impress. She's like, "Come on, Torrian, you can do it." She runs, jump on the pole, spins around, and then just goes straight down.
Wait,
And
how
everyone's-
old was this girl?
We were in middle school.
Oh,
We were
okay, never mind.
We were like 14.
No chance.
There's this girl I was trying to
13,
impress.
I
She
know.
jumps on this pole and just
11,
spins
12.
around.
13 years old, something like that.
So, and she slides down. Everyone's giving her high fives, and everyone's having a good time. And they're like, "Yeah, after this, we can go on the fire truck. Who's left? It's Torrian." And like, "Come on, Torrian, let's do it. I'm like, "Okay, I can do this. All right."
Did you
Somebody
say
park the
witness me?
swimmobile under
Get
me.
on the pole, right? And I start sliding. Guys like, "Hey, don't let go of the pole. Just loosely grip it and let gravity do the work." Right? Get on the pole. Start sliding. I let the pole go.
No.
Oh no!
I let the pole go and hit the circle that's in the floor. Because the pole goes through the hole
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
floor.
yeah,
yeah.
I
The
hit
gate
that.
kinda thing?
I hit that on my back, and then
Oh.
that forced me into the pole, which I grabbed onto. And since I was crippling hurt, then I slid down the pole in agony. And hit the ground and fell. I just crumbled on the ground, and then and the girl I was trying to impress, she was so like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
This is your fault, bitch.
You need to animate this. Make it, animate a recreation of it. Just that we can see it with our own eyes.
I met the coolest firefighter because he was laughing so hard. The other firefighters was like, "Oh, we gotta check on him, whatever." He was laughing. He was like, "Dude, why did you let the pole go?" I was like, "Cause you told me to." He was like, "That's not what I told you." I was like, loosely grip the pole so you can slide down it. I let the pole, and since my legs were still grabbing the pole, my upper body went back, and I hit the rim of the hole in the floor. And then that made me grab the pole, and then I slid down and hit the ground.
You grab the pole again.
Yeah,
There you go.
Just
So,
keep
and I hit the ground. All the kids were cheering. Like, "Yeah, you did it! Yeah!" Did you guys not see me hurt myself? I'm on the ground like, "Yeah, that was fun. Let's go. Okay, everybody, let's go to the fire truck." Everyone left me. They're just,
Yeah, you guys go on ahead. I need to go soak in the swimmobile.
And the worst part of the story is that she ended up liking my friend, Tom.
Yeah, because
So-
he probably went down the pole like a champ.
Yeah.
Well, that was really awful.
Wow,
Really,
well, that's
really bad.
Great depressing story.
The swimmobile
Thanks.
though was awesome. The Swimmobile. It had a diving board that.
Holy shit!
Wait, how deep was
How
this
did
pool?
you? No, it's like 4 feet.
Shut up, everybody! Listen. Yeah, I don't know why it had the diving board. Okay?
Was it on a separate car that pulled up?
No, I'm getting to the best part.
It's like
I'm
real
getting
life
to the
gang
best-
beasts here.
So obviously it's a trailer, right? It's a semi truck. The diving board snapped to the back of the truck part of the trailer,
It
like
just
in the
snaps
front.
on it.
It was like
Wait,
this.
wait. So it's not actually attached to the pool. It's attached to the tractor.
Yes. It was attached to the
So
top of it.
depending on the way it's turned, like
me-
the diving board
Give me your
could
phone.
be
Give it here.
like out pointing at
so
traffic
this,
or
this
something.
is
the cab.
This is the
Yeah,
trailer,
yeah.
yeah. And this is the swimmobile, right? The diving board, you can mount it. What?
Just getting the drink out of it.
There's two phones, Josh. The diving board can mount. The diving board can mount to the trailer, and there's a diving board here. Here's the thing, though. There are clearly signs that said no diving. I'm like, what the fuck is this diving board here for? Apparently, you can just like walk on the diving board
And fall in.
and you can just like jump in a little bit or whatever. But obviously, no one was doing like Olympic
Backflips?
dives.
So no
and
actual
backflips.
diving.
Yeah. But
No
you can
head
like
first.
you can like jump off of it, and it was cool. This thing was huge. Like it was like I think the thing was like like the trailer itself may have been like 10, 11 feet tall.
Oh, just tall enough so no adult could see you drowning.
Yeah, I guess it was really high because I remember like looking over the edge of it, and I was getting. Obviously, we all know that I'm scared more than 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
But I remember like this thing's really high, and I guess it had to be because it had like a bunch of stuff up under it, and I guess to like, just monitor it and clean it or whatever, blah blah blah. But I think the water itself was like 5 feet or whatever. Like you couldn't only. It was really only for like the taller kids because it was pretty deep. Like, well, not pretty deep, but like if you weren't like at least 5 feet or something like that, it was like right here. You just in this swimmobile drowning.
Oh my god! Like, I'm trying to picture the
Pretty good.
logistics of this thing, like, and how they set
Oh, I
everything
don't think
up.
they have it anymore because people thought of the same thing. Like this,
Yeah.
this is not a good
Like, and
idea.
then he just like pulls out like a foldable like lifeguard chair, like the huge ass ones.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm assuming
the guy would sit on the diving board part to watch people, like to make sure none of you die
Are
drowning.
you sure it was a diving board and it wasn't a bench?
I mean, he sat on it every now and then. And if a kid wanted to jump off of it, he'd get off of it and let them jump
use the
off
diving
of it.
bench. Like,
It does sound like it might have been meant for the lifeguard.
sit
But
on, but
it
people-
just so happened to also function as a diving board. So
That you couldn't use to
whoever
dive
was
off of.
driving, whoever was there on duty, if they wanted to, and the kid asked, they could just be like, "Yeah, go ahead and dive. If you get hurt, it's not my fault."
God, I'm gonna
I'm assuming-
find out if a swimmobile is still in business. See how much it would cost to
is.
get one here.
I'm assuming
sure
they had to
there's-
like drain the water before taking it back on the road
Yeah,
because otherwise,
I-
can you imagine?
No, just let it go.
Yeah, I think that and just the overall fucking safety of it and the idea of it is probably why you don't see them anymore. Because I remember one time, because this was like a recurring thing that would show up like just in Detroit, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other cities. Like you would see it a lot more often than you do now. And at one time, one came out and hooked up to the fire hydrant.
You did this multiple times?
Yeah, it was a rec center, and it was like I guess it was again probably not the best thing because it was I think it was
Alright.
relatively cheap to have this thing
Sure.
come up and just drive by and just sit there
Instead of installing your
one
own pool.
point at one that hooked up to a fire hydrant, which I didn't think was right. But that's you can't do
Well,
that.
I mean-
So,
No, you can't do that, man. You can't
I
use
guess
a
you
fire
can't.
hydrant
Yeah.
for
It would
anything.
only be-
That's
it
why
would
you get
only
in
be a
trouble
government
for
thing,
like
yeah.
turning it on to get
Yeah.
like wet in the street
Yeah.
because you can't use a fire hydrant to do anything else.
I can't stop laughing about picturing of this thing driving with the water in it. And then, like,
Yeah, 'cause
they
it would-
say, like, they're going, they're picking up some speed, then suddenly there's, like, an old lady in a crosswalk. And they're like, oh, shit!
no.
And they gotta slam the brakes, and it's like, you might not hit that, but, like, a tidal wave's
yeah.
gonna come and just fucking nail whoever's in the crosswalk.
It was pretty weird. One of them came with like because I don't think, like I said, the fire hydrant thing is a problem. So one of them came with another smaller but tanker truck, so that it had the water in it, so that it hooked up to the swimobile.
Oh god damn.
Well, I'm glad we learned more and more about your crazy past with every single Death Battle Cast episode. It's kind of like a boomstick on Death Battle, but in real life over here in Death Battle Cast.
Swimobile versus fire pole. Who would win?
Well, I was gonna
Community
say,
battle.
you guys think that's Aquaman's mobile? Like, does he have an Aquamobile? I mean, he's probably got a submarine.
That's what he's in, like,
He
during
probably
the
had a
parade.
wheeled vehicle
Like,
as a
hey,
toy
we
at
want
some
Aquaman
point.
in his parade. We need a swimobile.
I'm pretty
though.
sure the Justice League has vehicles that have water in it, so he can kind of recharge.
Yeah.
Like the
but nothing
Popemobile,
like
but
that.
with water.
Wait, that's this is Aquaman's Popemobile.
That'd be cool.
It's just
At that
him
point,
in
it's
the
basically
swim.
a snow globe on wheels.
Yep. Can he?
All right, but okay, I think we got to move on from this fascinating poolmobile or whatever it was called, swimobile.
I got stories for you.
Jeez.
The tie-dye shirt thing, that was a problem.
Let's save it for the next episode. Right now, I do want to hear what your thing of the week is this time.
Well, actually,
Is
It's
it
a
a
pool of the
swimobile?
week.
John, play the video and then run over here and get on the mic because this is John's punch of the week.
Oh,
Yeah. The startup should be long enough before the actual punch for you to make it over here. So, do you think?
He's coming.
So this is one
So
of my
yet
this is
it's
one of my
still-
favorite movies, but John reminded me of it today.
John's punch of the week.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite shots. This is also this is my favorite martial arts film.
oh, from Drunken Bastard.
Yeah,
too.
Legend
Okay.
of Drunken Master.
You're like, oh man, it's perfect.
Favorite shot right coming up
Looking here. What's going on?
right
Bam!
there.
Oh!
It just cuts.
Oh, look at that.
Setup. There's no setup. It just cuts.
It looks like
It's
it.
pretty
so
fantastic.
perfect.
It's just great to get the eye contact between him and the lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's immediately done with it, but he still holds it when he's done.
I just like the way it like cuts. There's no set.
What was that?
I loved all of it. Just like
Might need to fix that
something
asset.
didn't go
What
right
was this
there.
unprofessionalism
That's
on the
fine.
show?
It was cool. It was like it was in our space. But anyway, I just like how it cut to that. There were no like I imagine. I'm sure they edited that like that, but I imagine them saying, "All right, action." Just punches.
Yeah.
Cut. That was good. That was great. Get up. Let's do it again.
And the lady was impressed. So
Yeah.
even Jackie Chan was a little surprised. He's like,
Oh, he's done. All
Is
right.
that good? He's like, yeah, that's fine, Jackie. Let's do it
Yeah.
again.
He's not actually looking at the woman. He's looking over to the director like, did that work?
Yeah, it worked.
That was kind of awesome.
I think I actually hit him.
He wasn't even the stunt guy. He was just
Yeah, it's just
he was
a
just
dude.
extra there.
Oh, thank you for my phone.
He was just walking by. He was like, this guy keeps walking by the camera. Just punch. Next time he walks by, Jackie,
Thanks to
punch
Blue
him.
Apron, we will be able to afford better effects, hopefully. As long as you go to blueapron.com/DBC.
Thank you,
cool.
Blue Apron.
Yes. That was the
right.
blue screen to remind you of Blue Apron.
This blue screen brought to you by Blue
Yes.
Apron.
Blue screen.
All right, we only got
Talk
about 6
Blue
minutes
Apron.
left, so I want to get to hashtag Death Battle Cast questions. You can always use the hashtag Death Battle Cast on Twitter to send us questions, which we answer live on the show right here, right now. So I believe we have 3 questions to get through.
Think so.
Let's
Pretty standard.
check them out.
Torian, you want it?
Here James Armstrong. Will you consider putting in more real people into Death Battle like Bruce Lee?
So that was Torian's pause to consider. He's like, real people. Into Death
Is there
Battle.
somebody
Like,
who stands out to you that you want to bring in?
No.
Jackie Chan?
No, I didn't. I mean,
that would be really
Who did Jackie
interesting.
Chan fight?
I mean, Bruce Lee. He
Bruce
did.
Lee, yeah.
Oh, I guess Bruce Lee, yeah. Ooh, that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, or Jet Li.
Yeah.
oh, like the movie when they fought. What movie was that? Forbidden Kingdom. Yep, Forbidden
All
Kingdom.
right,
That was
they
it.
already fought.
But I mean, like, at the peak of both of their careers. Because, like,
Well, it's also, we've
I mean,
talked
they're
about...
both pretty old in that movie.
There's actually a death battle that we've talked about, having some fun with, actors and people in real life. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sylvester Stallone, but all of them have the abilities of all the characters they have played.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That would be
I think
cool.
that'd be really fun.
I've always wanted to do Michael Jordan versus Shaq. Yeah, but like the same kind of thing.
also with their powers.
Yeah.
So like all the stuff Michael Jordan did in Space Jam.
See, that's
If he
gonna
can
be-
take them to the Toon Zone or whatever that world was called, he could have his powers there. He would already know how to do all that stuff.
He's got, like, Dalsim stretchy arms.
Yeah, like all the.
Well,
all
except
the-
that only happens in Toon World, so...
But if he can figure out how to.
if he can get Shaq to
Yeah.
Toon World...
Yeah.
Yeah, take him where he's stronger, and like all the stuff they've ever sponsored is like in their arsenal.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Dude, I mean, Shaq's got steel under his belt, though, man. Oh, and screw that, he's a genie.
I was
He doesn't
gonna
have
say.
superpowers. He doesn't
Yeah.
have any superpowers. He's
But
a
he's
genie
also
too.
a
That's
genie.
the thing. That's
Yeah.
like that would really screw
They
over
make candy
Michael Jordan.
bars. They make candy bars. Did that kid get more than 3 wishes in that movie?
In Kazam?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
don't remember.
Kazam.
The last time I saw that, it was on
million
TV
years.
on Disney Channel in like 1998.
He wished for the candy. He wished to get the tape for his dad. What else did he wish for? Oh, he
Probably
wished
just set the genie
he
free,
wished he
right?
was free. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
that's right.
But
But it always
wow,
is.
that was
Still
an
had an
hour and a half
effect.
movie for 3 wishes. Anyway, what did he do? Let's go. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah. All right. Question number 2.
I'll take this one.
Go for it.
From Misha Hall. Torian, what happened to your beautiful hair?
Because, yeah, I mean, goddamn. I'm just kidding. Like,
Well,
what
well.
happened?
Yeah,
Well,
where
Misha,
is it?
Well, Misha, I'll tell you this. Thank you for noticing my beautiful hair. And secondly, I had to cut it because I don't take very good care of it. As awesome as it,
It's red again.
I hate you.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
As awesome as it looks, I don't take care of it as much as I should, so I have to start over. So hopefully the color will come back. I'm kind of liking the short black hair, so I'm gonna rock with this for a minute. But Misha, let me know what you think about Blue Apron. No, I'm just kidding.
You are pointing at
Next
the wrong
time-
camera that whole time.
Misha, in this camera. Can you keep up with me, John? Okay. This camera, Misha, this is a trigger.
John is not the problem
Okay,
here.
all right. Next question.
All right. Last question. Chad, do you want to take this
Sure.
one?
Oh, I thought it said Cervantes at first. All right. Cervantes
close.
Thomas, have you ever wanted to see one of your death battles actually happen in some sort of canon crossover? Ooh, if so, which one? That's a really good question.
Didn't one already kind of happen?
He-Man Lina. For me.
He-Man, like a canon He-Man versus
That's what I'm
Lino?
saying. Yeah, they're saying, like, what of our matchups would we actually, like,
Right.
love to see 2 companies cross over to do?
I mean, that's tricky.
Honestly,
Like,
one
I
of
feel like
mine.
that's what we already accomplished.
Yeah,
But
well, like,
But official.
Yeah, like the official properties are like,
They went and worked together.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, anything Marvel versus DC. If we could have a Marvel versus DC movie of any kind,
I feel like they're the
that'd be fucking
closest.
awesome.
I feel like
Absolutely.
they're the closest. If for that to be possible, they're like the closest possibilities. But comics
Yeah.
do stuff like that all the time.
Well,
Wasn't
they've
like-
already done that. There is a Marvel versus DC comic book line that came out
Yes.
in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I think mid 90s.
Yeah, they did the crossover comics.
Yeah, they did a crossover, and they had like face-offs, and the fans voted on who would win what.
Okay.
But it was still, like, there's a lot of, like, cop-outs and, like,
Well, there's some
yeah.
cop-outs, but they did actually turn it into a whole series because what happens at the end of that crossover is characters merge into each other.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
right.
if you've ever seen that image of Captain America or of Superman like wearing Captain America like stuff and having the shield, that's Superman Captain America fusion,
Yeah.
which is a real thing that happened in a comic series for a little while.
yeah.
So that's technically happened already, but I would like to see a movie of it.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd
can
be
you
very
imagine?
fair.
Can you imagine how
Screw
much?
it. Goku versus Superman. If they actually got together,
They'd be like
also
best
it would
friends,
answer
though. They
the
wouldn't
fucking-
fight. No, that's the thing. This would be a canon crossover, so they wouldn't fight. They'd be like
They would fight.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
Goku would
yeah,
wanna
they would
fight.
Goku
They
would
would
fight
not-
him.
they would
Goku
not
would
fight to the
fight him.
death.
Yeah.
No, but they
Yeah.
could totally determine who would win in a fight for real, and then nobody would ever argue about it again.
Because it's just like when it's just
They
like that,
still would.
It's just like that cartoon with Flash met Superman. Like he wanted to race them. Like
Yeah.
they wanted to compete a little bit.
Well, Goku specifically because that's what he
Goku
does.
does.
Yeah.
He sees somebody who he thinks might be stronger than him. He wants
Let's
to fight.
fight.
Him.
Yep.
So
All right, so Nick.
I think for me, part of it might be because it's really fresh on the mind, but I think seeing Lara Croft and Nathan Drake go on an exploration
together?
adventure,
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
like hunting down some treasure from like some like super, like really big bad guy of some kind. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
mentioned
cool.
that when I was watching your trailer, actually, that you edited. It kind of felt like not only just a death battle teaser, but like, oh, what if these two actually
got-
like,
yeah,
teamed
yeah.
up, or they were like rivals or whatever, and had to like team up at the end to find the treasure or something like that. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That would make a really good movie
It really would.
I see Mirrors as Dante Bayonetta Torian.
or game. Really, I don't know why I didn't say that.
No, that's too easy, Chad. How dare you?
Because you'd love it.
I don't know. I think something silly though. Mine would be I would want something silly. I think Sam Fisher and Snake would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
It's a similar thing.
Although I don't
Yeah.
think Sam Fisher's just not as interesting to me as like Snake. I'm not even that interested in Metal Gear
He's a little
Solid,
more of
but
a
I'm
generic
interested.
kinda
Yeah,
spy
I'm
hero.
interested in Snake because he's like genetically enhanced and stuff like that. Sam Fisher's just like your typical like secret agent dude or whatever.
To an extent, I'd
But like
say.
it'll be cool to see. I like seeing superpower people paired up with like normal people, like just in general. Like so the thing with the Marvel DC stuff is that those guys, the DC people are gods, except for Batman and characters like him. Those guys are gods. Like
pretty much.
That's
It's
tough.
ridiculous. So we gotta go. We gotta
Yeah.
throw out our community battle, and Austin actually suggested an awesome one.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Batmobile
Batmobile,
versus.
the Magic School Bus.
I threw out that one.
Oh no!
Oh, you threw it out? Okay,
the
so
Magic
Austin
School-
brought it to my attention.
Oh,
Austin mentioned
he
it
said
to
that
us.
you guys were debating it. I didn't know who threw it out. So I
Yeah.
assumed.
The Magic School Bus free.
Yeah, Magic School Bus has this in the bag.
Free.
Absolutely.
Maybe. I mean, Batmobile seems to have a piece of tech for anything.
Well, who is
Oh, yeah?
Does
Who
it have
is
a
this
piece
guy?
Of, does the Batmobile have a piece of tech for the Magic School Bus going microscopic size, going
mean,
inside of
the
it, and then
Magic
growing
School
to
Bus,
full size and
we-
exploding the shit out of
We
the Batmobile?
already agreed that
Or going
cartoon
into space.
cartoon
I
mean,
physics and powers are like unbeatable.
Well, I guess it doesn't need to be a community death battle then. We just answered it.
I mean, I'd like to hear the argument.
I
for the
would like to
Batmobile.
hear the
I'm just
argument.
sitting here like, well, fuck you guys. All right, let's go ahead and hear what you guys think of Magic School Bus versus Batmobile. Use the hashtag DeathBattleCast. Send us your answers. We'll discuss it on the show next week. We got to wrap up right now. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode, and we'll see you next Wednesday if you're a first member, next Friday on YouTube if you're not.
BlueApron.com/DBC. Try it out. It's awesome.
Nathan
I promise
Drake.
you'll love it.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, dude.
Bye.